We are back, baby! Welcome to the Blitz Breakdown, presented by BlitzAnalytics.com, where scouting meets analytics, and you meet the newest crop of off-field talent. I am Jack Bourgeois. That is Ashton Moore. Oh, sorry, that side. And you may not be able to see him, but we have our version of a young Jamie in the studio right now, who has decided to be our behind-the-scenes fact-checker. Somebody's going to help us out. Somebody's been helping us out and working with us, been a part of the team for quite some time now. Mr. Drew Barbetta is in the Bucks Betta win this weekend.
Howdy.
Doing,
So, living, breathing, getting it in.
Absolutely.
Howdy.
It feels weird not
Happy
having
to
your
have
face
you, brother.
on here, but I guess I'm still looking at you, so I'll get over it. But
It's cool. My voice is gonna jam on the audio-only versions.
like I said, I think it's more just because I'm jealous that you get to not be on camera and I got to be on camera.
Oh no, it's a feature.
Like I said a minute a few, like the ladies liked it better when I had to wear a mask and was like, here down. So I think that has to do with something with our ratings or something like that.
I would like to talk about that one day.
That'll be a good episode, for sure.
You could do a social.
It's probably
pod.
a good thing that we hit start record now and not 15 minutes ago, because that conversation would have got us in some trouble. But it is week 4. We had a Thursday night game, which we could have potted during, but I just felt like it would have been disrespectful to the game to do so. I mean,
I enjoyed it.
I did too, dude. Even though it was such a garbage matchup.
And I would have shit on it 24 hours ago.
Oh, I know.
And I would have just been like, it's just going to be a gross game. And I hope Joe Burrow just goes out there and like really dominates the Jaguars. But like, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. But walking away doesn't make me feel good about the Bengals. Like for the rest of the season, like things could look really pretty and they could look really good because they have really good playmakers, but the better they do, the longer it's going to take for Zach Taylor to get fired, and the longer they're just going to kind of drain out that whole process of just suffering and purgatory, and it's a weird place to be. But the game was fun.
Why does Zach Taylor have to get fired though? If they're 3-1 right now, they lost Joe Burrow last year, they lost their number 1 pick the year before. Like, that's back-to-back first-round picks. Like, is it 100% his fault? Look at him actually. He's learned to use Mixon. Like, they're actually using Joe Mixon.
Yeah, but I just see him in the same vein as, like, at best, he's Matt Nagy. And from there, it's like, is that the image you want to create your football team with? And, I mean, you got Burrow and Chase with the LSU connection, and, like, that. I just feel like there's an attitude that's missing from this current team that, like, if they got, like, Joe Brady from the Panthers, who was there in LSU with them, like, that kind of brought in that same mentality and just kind of reshifted how that franchise is going. Because, like, right now, I mean, to argue for Zach Taylor says what type of ceiling? Like, how comfortable are you saying Zach Taylor is capable of performing? Like, is he a playoff winning head coach? Like, I just feel like rip the Band-Aid off at this point.
But I mean, like, I don't even think he's got a chance to prove himself. I mean, Matt Nagy's had a chance to prove himself, and it's been shit. It is shit with 4 or 5 different quarterbacks. This guy had Joe Burrow, he had Andy Dalton got, like, he's had 2 bad years of bad luck, and, like, it is the Bengals, but, like, I think you could just insert any coach into a Bengals, quote, uniform, and then you're going to be like, fire him in 2 years. Like, you could put a hell of a coach, and then as soon as they're wearing that Bengals orange, you're going to be like, he should probably get fired. I think that's more of what the case is. I don't know what you can blame on Zach Taylor for the last 2 years. Now, if they have some epic fail this year, then yeah, you could probably fire him. But he's 3-1 right now. Like, give a man a little credit. To call him Matt Nagy, like, Zach Taylor actually can produce an offense.
Matt Nagy's had some winning seasons, though. But like, you're not inspired by what Matt Nagy can bring.
I get that's what you're saying. You have yet to be inspired by what Zach Taylor brings.
But fair, they're
didn't get to meet
3-1.
him. He's a really nice guy.
He shouldn't be discussed on the hot seat discussion. That's unfair to him. He's done. He's
Matt
done
Nagy
too well
needs to be fired
for
tomorrow.
That.
He's a terrible coach.
So, I wasn't planning on talking about Matt Nagy, but since we're here, like, I get it though. Like, I get what he's doing and why he's doing it. Like, the current construct
one area or what 1 yard per attempt, I think is what they averaged last game. 1 yard per attempt. I don't
like
get that.
all time bad offensive game, scheme, performance, just overall showing. Should always be remembered as one of the worst anyone's ever seen. But given with what they're dealing with, their offensive line is trash. It's bad. Like, there is no way to prevent moderate to massive pressure on a play-to-play basis. This is not something you want to throw your franchise quarterback into. Like, you want to do what you can to provide a sustainable structure or just a supportive structure to their development, because this is a very hyperactive media and fan response in the sense of, like, we need to see the quarterback play now, and damn it, they better be good or they're a bust. Like, there's just so much hypersensitivity to that. So if I'm Nagy and my job's riding on it, I want Andy Dalton to be taking these lumps and these sacks, and while they're getting the offensive line figured out, I mean, they have Jason Peters, who's at least 56 playing left tackle, and that it's not helping how it's going. And I know I wouldn't want to put Justin Fields back there, and that's why they're kind of saying, like, I mean, we could play Nick Foles Sunday. I mean, possibly. Like, it's just a shitty situation to be in, but their offensive scheme that they did last week was really bad. Like, it didn't adjust from, like, they didn't change anything. They played it as if they had Andy Dalton still playing quarterback, and they didn't have any consideration for what Fields can do away from the pocket. And it was just a very bad coaching display. But I say all that to say that's what you hope Zach Taylor is, and he should be like that.
So disrespectful to think Zach Taylor. If you're gonna sit there and then talk about, like, the lack of talent and that it's not Nagy's fault, like, then it definitely ain't Zach Taylor's fault. And they have a ton of, and like, they actually have some talent, and the defense is playing outstanding. Like, the Bengals defense is playing way better than anyone expected them to, because there is
Logan Wilson and Akeem Davis-Gaither. The two, I wrote scouting reports for both of them last year. Enjoyed both of them quite a bit. And Logan Wilson's a bad dude, man. And they're using him how they need to use his type of talent and his type of capabilities. And it's cool. It's cool to see good players be used well. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed last night's game a lot more than I thought I did. So, yay, football.
Drew, I heard you trying to chime in there. Feel free to jump in and just shit on Matt Nagy for me.
I mean, that's too easy. I think what I was going to say is, as far as, Zach Taylor goes, I don't know if I know enough about him as a coach at this point to say he needs to be fired, or I don't even know, honestly, if he should have even been hired. It's like, isn't he just a guy?
He should have been hired, for sure.
He's just a guy.
He was so
Isn't he just a guy that happened to be on the Rams staff? Like, what did he do, like, a year with?
He shared a quarterback room with Sean McVay.
He had a cup of tea.
Like, hey, what happened in there?
You spend a year with Sean McVay,
a cup of coffee with McVay.
Pretty much. Is that just like the league is so high on McVay? Like, I get that, I guess. Right? But I'm not. It was like a confusing hire, but like I also don't think I'm like, okay, fine. I mean, just let him take the reins. But I think that there's something special with Joe Burrow. I like him like a really high on Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy that this time last year he had 3 fewer ligaments in his knee. Like it's insane that he threw some money last night in the second half. Like
he's nice.
And that like he had some really good looking passes. But in full, like I'm not even ready to say after that game that like I feel that good about the Bengals. I know the Bengals feel great about the Bengals right now. They just went into Pittsburgh, whooped an ass.
Yeah.
Right? They just whooped a Ben Roethlisberger that has
high
no
of the past 3 seasons.
Oh yeah.
Right?
All right.
They go primetime win. They're on top of it. But I think the Jags threw it away.
Oh,
and
for sure.
I think it's the Urban Meyer fumble in entirety. And it's like I thought it was so poorly played by Urban Meyer that like it hurt the value of the Bengals win to me. So I'm not ready to say like they're good or bad or anything. I think they're just fine where they are, but the Jags, Urban Meyer, I don't like in the NFL so far.
Since we're on the topic,
you want to retract that?
Oh, full force. But yeah, I'm completely off that. I jumped off a week or two ago. But he wears losses really badly. Like you can tell, like these are like devastating. Like
dude, it was a 3rd and 5 wasn't converted. You thought there was a sniper in the stadium,
dude.
Urban Meyer,
he was in pain, and it sucks to watch a human go through just like that type of painful experience. But like he's just experiencing, he's not used to losing.
Can you blame him?
Not good.
This is the first year he's been immortal in so long. He's literally been they do everything except build him a statue every college he's at. I mean, he walks in. You think he's paid for a beer in 10 years? Like, come on, dude, this has got to be so tough for him. He comes in, he gets a rookie quarterback and no wins, but he's calling read options, and the read options are fine if you tell your quarterback like let go of the ball. Oh my goodness, or like the speed options. Like, what was that? Like our 3rd and goal, we want to go NCAA 2012 with it.
I think they're just using what they got, and they're starting to lose players now that Chark's out for the year. Like Trevor Lawrence is a good runner, and if he's trying to win, he might.
I'm not sold on that in any way. I know he was good in college, and I know he can break things off with his legs, but like
you don't think Trevor Lawrence is a good rusher?
Prime example of somebody who's going to get humbled in the worst way. I think in the NFL, I did not like his keeps last night. Every single one made me nervous. I thought he was one juke away from popping his own knees out, or he was just playing with defensive ends.
Yeah,
like bless their souls. Like, but they did play it well. Like they shouldn't be. I don't know. They some people got made look a fool last night. But it's not going to happen consistently.
If there was one game this entire weekend that I thought was going to be a, quote, trap game, like, even though it really shouldn't be considered that, it was this game because it was the Bengals and the Jags. And we both know that even with a 3-1 record, if the Bengals are 3-1, they're as good as the 3-1 or the 4-0 Steelers of last year. Like, they're not that good. They're not going to do anything special. They're not going to do anything in particular. But also the Jaguars were 0-3 and desperate as can be on a Thursday night game. Like they were playing. They still weren't coaching, but they were playing. That team played their ass off. Like you could tell that one team showed up in the first half and one team did not. And then the roles got reversed when the Bengals finally started clicking. But you cannot tell me that Joe Burrow did not just completely outshine Trevor Lawrence the other night, or last night. Like, it was, to me, it was just undeniable. Burrow is the best quarterback to come out the draft in quite some time. His poise, his pocket presence, his just command of the team. Like, he has swag, like, just fucking oozing from him. I love it. I mean, he does not get rattled.
So
he's the
give
opposite
him
of
Zach
Urban.
Taylor. The most mayonnaise of coaches could possibly
How is it
give
mayonnaise,
him.
though? He actually does, I mean, like, literally, like,
What?
I know. He was, so I did pull it up. He was the wide receivers coach in 2017 and the quarterbacks coach in 2018.
Sick.
He's never had never even been
that
a
team
OC
needs
in the
swag,
NFL.
son. They need attitude. They need to let the LSU come out and just let it start. Just Burrow flinging it to Chase, and he's just
what more do you want?
They're
from
just
Zach Taylor right
he's
now?
hindering their swagness, and
You think so?
it's.
I thought he was pretty swaggy when I met him.
Absolutely.
Have you seen
Yeah,
my interview with Zach Taylor? I thought he was pretty swaggy.
Oh, all right, that makes sense. Okay. My bad. You did an interview with Zach Taylor. So, hey, shouts out to Zach Taylor. Appreciate the love.
I really like that Jack sat on that. And he just sat back and just let you rip Zach Taylor. And then, like, 15 minutes later, he's like, I met him, by the way. Great guy.
Friend.
Nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, he rubs shoulders. He's really good at the water cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was cool.
Well, I think the Bengals are just. I think they're gonna be fine. I don't know if they're gonna be like wild card fun, but like they might. I think they might be.
Why not?
I would pencil them in to be like wild card hunting.
The last wild card spot is they're gonna go to Baltimore or Vegas this year. Like that's as it sits right now, anyways. Like that's the way it's lined
I
up.
see Vegas and Cincinnati as the same people though, or same teams. Personally.
Come on, bro. You gotta stop shitting on the Raiders. Like their offensive line is holding up. It actually is doing extremely well. Their defense is performing. We'll find out Monday night. I think another like a good divisional game, a divisional win. But don't tell me, don't put that. You have the Bengals who were a bottom of the barrel roster just 4 weeks ago, what we were considering, and they've outshined every basically aspect we expected them to, outside of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Like I think we all knew that was going to be nice. But
if you have a poor pass rush, you will get exposed against the Bengals, or at least there's potential for Burrow to show out. Like if you can make their lack of an offensive line not be that big of a factor, Burrow could tear it up. But just in terms of like playing against like the better teams, I think they're going to be absolutely exposed. But they're fun, and I feel the same way about the Raiders.
We'll see.
We shall.
Like that Jags take, you'll be retracting that statement here soon.
That's fair. That's fair. I will wear that. But I was big on the ETN.
It's all right. That one's different though. Like you're wearing a Chiefs jersey. Like I can't expect you to not hate on the Raiders. But I'm just gonna call you out. Oh, Eric Berry.
One of my favorites. Nice. One of my favorites.
All right, but we literally are talking about the two shittiest teams like that we could possibly talk about right now that aren't named the Jets. So,
real quick, one more thing. Urban Meyer. I just wanted to know that Urban Meyer like called a timeout to switch a helmet out, and then called another timeout on like 3rd and 5 at like the 40, and then had their next play after was completely. But it was busted immediately. He took a minute to design a play for 3rd and 5. It broke down instantly, and he was left with one timeout left. That was the last time they touched the ball the rest of the game. They didn't get the ball back. Do you know why? Because he couldn't stop the clock. Because Urban Meyer left them nothing. And Trevor Lawrence he was connecting with some passes. Like he wasn't like completely inept. He had an okay game. I think that you draw things up for him the way he needs it. Like he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is in a shit system. He's a good quarterback in a shit system. I think he's a really good rookie quarterback because you could tell he diagnosed stuff way faster than a lot of rookie quarterbacks do. Like I'm sorry, but Justin Fields just looked completely lost. And again, I put a lot of that on Nagy and the fact again, like Ashton did say it, the offensive line is just. It's almost non-existent. It is that turnstile we seen just a few years ago, like the Colts before they drafted, Quentin Nelson type shit.
He looks like the really good player on a little league team. Like he looks like their best player, but it's just a bad team that nobody's gonna beat. Yeah. They're like, hey, that guy's kind of good.
That one kid in the Pop Warner team who literally carried, like he's the only one scoring touchdowns for his team. But hey. James Robinson, they finally made James Robinson the focal point of the offense though last night, and that actually did pay off. Setting up the play action, using Trevor Lawrence's athleticism to his advantage, being able to get out of the pocket because their offensive line is getting banged up too, or not banged up, was getting their ass kicked the other night. But here's the last one more fun Urban Meyer stat. Urban Meyer has
I was not prepared.
44. He's got 44. Oh, we can round it up. 45% of his total losses from Ohio State racked up in the first 4 weeks of the NFL season. He's 5 wins. He's 5 weeks away from tying his overall loss at Ohio State.
And he hates it. And he hates losing. Like, it's taking a part of his soul out every lack of a third down conversion. Like, this man is suffering on the sideline. Like, I now have sympathy for his health issues that he continually uses to get out, because now I believe it. Well, like, this is detrimental to his health. Like, this dude can't take losing. And he's not going to make it this year. I mean, like, I don't know what the Vegas odds are on the first coach out, but, like, he's got to be the favorite. No, like, he can't handle this. He cannot handle every week being Bama. Out? I mean, it's either him or Zach Taylor.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm going to kick you out of this freaking chat right now and just bring Drew in. I'm going to replace your ass to keep the shit up. They're 3-1. God damn it. Leave them alone. All right, let's talk about your Chiefs. All right, let's talk about your struggling Chiefs. How about that? Let's have that conversation right now.
Well, you know, Jack. I think it's just time to get rid of Andy Reid. they're 1-2, and I think the fan base has just had enough.
I agree. You know, I feel like the system is not working. The system's been exposed. It got exposed in the playoffs this last year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And
the Tampa Bay template. Everyone's just doing what they're doing, and oh man, oh boy, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Just get pressure with four. It's so easy. Just get pressure with your top 4 guys. That's all you need to do.
That's all you got to do. And make sure they're on their 3rd to 4th string offensive line, and make sure that they're playing the first away game in a Super Bowl in history. But besides all that, these past 3 weeks have been not what most expected, I would say, and it's uncharted territories. I did not expect to have 2 losses this year. I honestly didn't expect us to have 1 loss this year, but here we are at 1-2, and feeling pretty good because we brought some reinforcements in, and we're just gonna kind of see what happens from here. And I feel bad for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is I feel bad for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, copy that.
Just try to spin that real quick.
I love my Eagles, and I also it's a bummer for them. I think they're going to get annihilated. But
do you think they're going to beat them by more than 8 points? Because the current spread is 7.5, and I'm just like, I think it's done. It's Andy Reid's return to Philly. Like, I think
the Eagles are not covering that.
But.
So
you said that last week about the Chargers. You said I'd hate to be the Chargers next week, and it didn't happen.
I did.
Let's actually talk about the issues, though. I know you can be positive, and I'm super stoked to see Josh Gordon in that offense. That gets me so giddy. Like, that gets me giddy
plug and play immediately. Is he gonna? He's not playing this week.
I think they'll need him to. They need his talent.
Oh,
they need.
Does he go straight to the field, Ashton?
No, he's on the practice squad. He's gonna be on the practice squad for about 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
The current projection is probably about Buffalo is when he'd at least get snaps, but it's going to be a little bit. I mean, Andy Reid's kind of notorious for his complex playbook in terms of the wide receiver position to get a firm grasp of what they need to be doing on every single play. It's just a very long play call. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of utilize him, because right off the bat, I think he's just immediately a decoy. Like, the big thing right now is that the past 2 weeks, the defenses have completely catered towards ensuring that no deep plays are going to occur. They're going to make sure that Tyreek Hill is bracketed, and that he is one of the safeties is making sure that he's taking care of them no matter how far he runs. And the rest of the defense kind of to make sure that Travis Kelce is taken care of, or they make sure it's not a run. And then it's kind of dependent on Demarcus Robinson or Byron Pringle to make something happen, or Marcus Kemp, and it hasn't been working well. But I feel like people aren't really grasping the fact that Kansas City isn't really being stopped. They're just turning it over. Like, these are sustained drives that are occurring that someone just fucks up. Or, like, Patrick Mahomes tries a no-look pass and Marcus Kemp doesn't catch an easy catch and instead bats it up and it's an interception. These are fixable things is what I'm saying. And with the Josh Gordon returning, with Willie Gay returning, with Tyrann Mathieu getting reacclimated, I'm not worried. I'm really not. And I don't see how we only beat the Eagles by 7. So
okay. I got only question for you. Okay, so that was fairly optimistic, but I expected your optimism to be focused on the defensive side, because what I've seen the last 2 weeks is, well, they can't get their offense back onto the field when they need to. Everyone's pulling their pants down and putting it all on the line because they refuse to give the ball back to Mahomes. What needs to be done on defense to make that to answer last drive situations?
Cool. I like that. Good question. Specifically, the easiest fix is going to be stop giving Daniel Sorensen snaps over Juan Thornhill. Last week or the week before last week, he had about 12 snaps. This one, I think it was a little bit more, about 16, 17. But like, he's not being put on the field, and just Chiefs fans are just kind of really just confused of why this is happening throughout Twitter and just all the other forums. For some reason, Spagnuolo doesn't believe Juan Thornhill should be on the field over Daniel Sorensen most of the time. And it's being exposed by offensive coordinators. And Ben Neiman, number 56, the other white dude, he is playing in Willie Gay's spot. And Willie Gay is returning from a turf toe injury. It's looking like he'll be back next week, but he's also getting exposed. Like, there's just easy to spot like weaknesses in the defense at a given time, and we're weak at defensive end right now. So like, the Ravens really took advantage of our defensive end, or lack of a defensive end. Like, Chris Jones is playing defensive end right now, who's a bigger defensive tackle by nature, who moves really well in space, but is still 6'6", 295. And you're doing read options with Lamar Jackson, who the read is what the defensive end does. So he's just beating the defensive end for 6 to 7 at least.
Right. Just like Trevor Lawrence.
Right. So for the defense, it's replacing the white guys and just letting Juan Thornhill come in and letting Willie Gay take their place. And I think that in itself is going to be a talent infusion that's going to raise the floor of what the defense currently is.
Heard it here.
And then it's also just getting everybody on the same page. Yeah.
You all are 30th in defense right now. And your top 5.
We played 3 good teams, Jack.
Top 5 in giveaways.
Can't be the Broncos.
I'm just saying.
I dropped him. I just dropped him last week. Ashton was so high on the Kansas City defense that he made me draft them in both leagues.
Ew.
Just not through the first 5 games.
Ashton, you're supposed to be a good friend. Come on, dude. Come on.
I have it in my notes. In week 5, they will be worthy of a pickup. This 5-game gruel is just, don't start your fantasy defense against these teams. These are good offenses. That's a tough schedule. Don't do that.
Yeah. I will state I will state this, and I will throw this out there. They have, believe it or not, the toughest schedule, or a lot more tougher schedule than the reigning defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because the Buccaneers were a wild card team.
Tom Brady, y'all cheat every fucking year.
Dude, I'm so sick of hearing that. And it's only 1 year. I can only imagine how Patriots fans felt. But we were right about Patriots fans. Those were some fucking cheaters. Bucks fans.
How do you think they're going to react this Sunday,
cheat.
though?
We don't cheat, okay? Well, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm not worried about it because I know for a fact that Tom Brady
You're better than that.
Is going to.
You're above that.
Yeah. I don't comment on refs. It's below me. You know, it's just it's not worth it. Like we've been complaining about shitty refs since the dawn of time. They're always gonna be.
Yeah,
shitty.
that's a part of the game.
It's part of the game.
We're talking about as far as decoys are concerned. I mean, the Bucks, I think they just needed Antonio Brown on the field more than they realized.
Oh, yes.
I
Brady.
think that was exposed that Mike Evans is going to get, I mean, whatever. I mean,
Evans got shut the fuck down.
I do have financial outcomes based on Mike Evans' performances this year, but I do think not having Antonio Brown on the field, it makes it a lot harder for Mike Evans to break.
That is definitely because then you can't cover anyone. But like Mike Evans, when Antonio Brown isn't there, Mike Evans is kind of the clear cut. Not that he's the better receiver, because I do think that Chris Godwin's the all around better receiver. Yards after catch, route running, hands. Even though Chris Godwin's had some really bad drops, like dating back to like the playoffs and even a couple weeks this season. I think he's the better all-around receiver. But Mike Evans is more dangerous because Mike Evans can score in one play. Godwin really isn't that guy that's going to like take the top off the defense. And not that Mike Evans take the top off the defense. He just 50-50 jump ball somebody on a 50-yard pass. And like that's, you know, it completely changes the entire complexion of the game or outcome of the game. But where I seen it was Tom Brady was trying to outscore a team that was playing fourth and fifth stringers at cornerback. Like we were down to 4, 5, and 6. Like we had 1 and then 1 got hurt. We had 3 and 3 got hurt. So at one point in that game, like Stafford could do anything he wanted to our defense. There was no stopping it.
Yeah.
So once it got to that point and the Bucs had to completely abandon the run, like the Rams were able to pin their ears back. Like it became completely one-dimensional, elementary type football and play calling, and I don't know. As soon as I seen like 3 of our defensive backs go down against the Rams, I was just like, nah. Like I was almost disinterested now because I was like, all right, we're gonna lose this. I will say this, that was a good loss. I think the Baltimore loss for KC was a good loss in terms of like eventual down the road. Like I think losing that game will have more of a positive impact in the long haul than winning that game will. Because, like, I would hate to be Baltimore playing KC in the playoffs. I'd hate to be Tampa Bay, or I'd hate to be the Rams playing Tampa Bay in the playoffs. Just like you would hate to, like you seen with New Orleans. New Orleans smacked Tampa Bay twice, had to face them in the playoffs. Tampa learned their lesson on how to play them, and it was a get-right game. Well, not even a get-right, it was a statement game, basically. So, that being said, I take no credit away from the Rams and McVay and Stafford and.
No, they're scary as fuck.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're legit. I am scared of the Rams for sure. The Rams have answered a lot of questions for me, and I think they've been a lot of fun.
Do you think that they can
Matt Stafford is legit?
Stafford has way too much swag. Matt
Stafford has been wearing ankle weights his whole career in Detroit. Like. He's taken him up and sling. I love to see it. Their defense is obviously nasty, and they stood up and defended it. And if you're the Bucs, like it's a tough game to like feel shorthanded at a receiver core when you're playing against Rams corners. But I agree. I am still very high on the Bucs. I love laughing at like people who are still high, like following a loss, but like this is definitely true in the truest sense because like are they marching into New England, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be
over under 4.5 touchdowns for Tom Brady.
I think 4. I think he's gonna get 4.
I think it's going to be.
Or is he
They neglected the run game so bad last week that they will fix that.
What if he does like Kobe, like breaking the field goal attempt?
10, just has like 10 touchdowns?
Like,
I don't think against
like
that
he's like,
I don't
I'm
think you can do
unloading
that
the
against that defense,
absolute
though.
clip.
It's still a legit defense. Like, this isn't going to be... I don't think it's going to be a barn burner. Like, AB will be back. AB's finally off.
They can't, but they're coming off a
Gronk is
loss.
going to be a game-time decision. JPP is going to be a game-time decision. Like, that was the
Yeah.
biggest one last week. We didn't have JPP. I did not know our pass rush is so goddamn dependent on him on on the blind
fingers.
side. I mean, it's... Yeah, if that's bad. Did you hear him say that?
Think about that?
Oh no, he legit came out. I think it was probably some Bucks video I was watching, but he legit talked about it, and he's like, "Think of how badass I'd be if I had 10 fingers. Like I could still rush the passer, and I don't even have
only.
He legit
Dude,
said it. He's like,
I'd
be the best.
Actually.
He's like, I'd be the best pass rusher in the NFL right now if I had 10 fingers. He's like, because he explained it. He's like, I can't do this move with this arm. I can't do that. So he's like, I completely had to limit my arsenal and then redevelop new tools because now I got these big old fucking club mitts. And so he literally talks about using it he'll swing them at people.
He's come a long way since the George Selvey days where they just went at it, and he was a big athlete playing with the Giants. And
Dude, he's gonna have a great football life, Doc.
He is
for
he
sure.
Is. That'll be
interesting.
Oh, for sure. Especially, and that I think it was that's what it was. I think it might have been the week 1, and they even brought they talked about his parents, because I think is he what, Haitian? I think so. I know his parents are I know his parents are immigrants.
That's my job.
So there was a whole backstory on all that stuff, and I think his dad's blind. So him losing 2 fingers didn't mean a thing to him. It literally is dude, my dad's blind. My dad's been blind. So that's a good perspective to have. He's had this amazing outlook on it. Yeah.
Handicap.
That could ruin some people. The tiniest thing can ruin somebody, and still the worst, the worst day of somebody's life is still the worst day of somebody's life, no matter how bad it really is compared to somebody else. But that fucker was take him.
Confirmed. He was born in Florida to 2 Haitian immigrants. I did not know this.
Ding.
Wow.
Point for Jack.
Dude, I don't retain information on anything. But when it comes to football, it could be the dumbest statistic. But back to the Rams Cardinals though. That to
Rams
me.
terrified
Rams
me.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both undefeated. Who's going 4-0 this weekend? It's Rams at Cardinals, I believe. Double check.
Yeah.
Where's that? Cardinals at Rams. All right, so it is in
Cardinals. It's in LA, but the Cardinals are getting 4.5 points.
Are they?
Well, they're getting 4.5 most places, except for MGM and FanDuel right now, or have them at 4. But it's 4.5. I don't know.
Sorry, did you say the Cardinals are favored?
No. They're getting It's LA by 4.5. Basically everywhere.
I don't know, dude. Have you seen Kyler Murray play though right now? That's what I'm thinking. The Kyler Murray X factor to me. That offense can put up points, and that team almost got beat by the Jags last week.
If I were to say one thing why I don't think the Cardinals are going to win, I just don't and I don't think their run game is respected.
Oh, not at all. What run game? They don't have a run game.
And it just doesn't. I don't know. I don't think you're going to be able to sling yourself out of a hole in LA. I just don't think you can do it.
Mm-mm.
I think you take the Rams and give the points. The Rams by 4.5.
What's the over under, or just the overall total?
Let's see.
Got to be high and scored.
Yeah,
58.
I'm the only one on the Blitz pick'ems, which you haven't done your pick'ems, by the way. You missed out on
good
you
call.
missed out on your Thursday night football.
I thought I did it Tuesday.
Creeping up. I mean, I would have said something if I'd remember, but I completely forgot. But
it's 54. Over under.
Over
for sure. 54.
Over. Easy over.
Yeah, I would say I'm taking the over on that. Rams defense is good. The Rams defense
I feel like I can pencil the Rams in to put up 30 at like every game. I feel like.
And Arizona's been doing the same.
Don't sleep on Arizona's defense, right? Isaiah Simmons is becoming
but also don't sleep on this
now.
being an NFC West matchup.
Right.
Like this could be a 10-13 game for all we know.
That's true.
This is the NFC West.
This is not going to be a 10-13 game.
Yeah, but we used to say that. Remember when
at the very minimum, one team's having a 2 in yeah.
Yeah, I think so. No, I would definitely. I would still, if you put a gun in my head, I'm betting the over, but I would be so scared because how many times, even when like the Niners were legit or the Seahawks were legit and the other team was terrible, it would be 10-6. It would be 9-7. It would be like one of those type of games, and it happens every year. Like the NFC West is known for it. They play each other so hard that literally it's stalemate, and that's what I'm wondering. Like, Rams and Cardinals split last year, so what's to say they don't do it again? What's to say?
The way Kyler's playing, the only way that happens where it's like a defensive like stalwart, like neither team can really get anything going. Like there's injuries involved, and I don't want to bet that way. And I just feel that they're gonna put on a show, man.
Jack may have sold me. I think I'm gonna stay away from the O-runner completely, and I think I'm gonna still bank on the Rams. But I'm gonna take line. I'm gonna take No, not the money line. I'm taking the points. I'm giving those points. Take your points, Cardinals. You're gonna need them.
See, I just got this feeling. I feel like this is the game. Out of all the games this week, I think maybe the Jets could beat the Titans. That might be one of them. I'm kind of high on the Vikings.
A lot of wide receiver issues going on in Tennessee.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're down.
Neither A.J. Brown or Julio Jones is playing.
And their defense is not looking good. This could maybe be. I don't even want to put the word "get right" game and Jets in the same freaking sentence, but this might be something to at least kind of maybe slowly, semi, kind of get them on track. You never know. But yeah, I don't know. That Rams Cardinals game gets me excited more than anything else this week. Bucks and Patriots obviously, but I don't know. In terms of like trying to figure out what, like, the Bucks are going to win that game. Like, that's not going to answer any questions other than what we already know. Tom Brady did it. Belichick assisted. I don't think it was the other way around. I think this will prove it. But it really won't prove anything. It's different scenarios. But that's what
with that whole situation, so, like, with this weekend approaching, we have to address, like, the magnitude of this weekend approaching. He's literally about to break the yardage record in New England after leaving New England and winning a Super Bowl. Like,
yeah,
we're in,
on Sunday night, prime time.
The NFL schedule makers have been nailing it, but like, how this whole crossroads has occurred ever since Tom Brady left. Like, it has been nothing but detrimental to Bill Belichick and positive for Tom Brady, to the point that I think it's going to affect, like, their overall career narratives. And I think Tom Brady sees this and is going to absolutely flex his nuts on primetime television. And
hot take.
And Antonio...
Brady could go off so hard there are potential career implications for Belichick. I love that.
I mean, but really, though, like, nobody is talking nice about Bill Belichick now. Now there's this whole article coming out talking about how he's the biggest asshole anyone's ever worked. Like, there's, like, a genuine media narrative.
The market's very anti-Belichick right now.
It is.
But who's putting it out there? This is Robert Kraft doing this shit. Like, Bobby? He's about to get outed, son. Like, he's about to get booted, and with that comes, like, career degradation.
You think so?
Yes. I think he's tired of his shit, and it was cool whenever they were winning multiple rings together. But now that the GOAT's out, now he's just a really shitty coworker who's putting together a mediocre at best product. That's not going to fly for very long.
You don't think he's motivated to keep him with Mac?
Please his bosses? No, he's trying to get out of there soon.
No, you don't believe in
I don't
talent
at quarterback? Think that one bit. I really don't. I think if it was that,
how much longer is Bill
bad,
Belichick the coach for the New England Patriots?
As long as he wants to be.
That's what I think. I think as long as he wants.
But what would you give a proper over/under right now?
If he's coaching in 5 years, I'd be surprised.
Under. Way under.
You think under?
I would say the over/under should be 3. I would take the
under.
Over.
Over.
I think. I think he
under.
at least coaches for 3 more years.
I think it's coming a lot sooner than anyone else does. I guess.
This is his
Ashton
life.
is out for a coach's head tonight,
I think
and I want to capitalize on that.
I do think that.
Like, but no, this is what's happening. Like, look at the chess pieces being played. Like, they're already putting out shit that like Bill Belichick's a shitty person behind the scenes. Like, he's disrupting the operations. Him and Robert Kraft aren't seeing eye to eye. Like, he drove Tom Brady out of town type shit. Like, this is already being planted. Like, you just have to see how it's being presented. And like, he's gonna want to go out. He's gonna want to do his own thing somewhere else.
With the narrative,
most teams will like the Giants. Like, the Giants are currently in a position to take on a Bill Belichick, like a full-on, like, you take over general managing. And all right, I didn't even think of this at any point, but now I'm going to say it now. He's going to go coach the Giants within the next 3 years. Call it.
Okay. Well, first off, I'll mark you down for the under as well.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we'll pick that one up offline.
Cool.
But that's a piping hot take.
That is very.
For some reason, I mean, I guess it's not impossible, but going down your rabbit hole, like, if that were to happen, I would have to assume that would only happen if Kraft allowed it to and abided it. You know, like.
I think Kraft's the one promoting this shit right now. I think he wants him out.
Happening right now, then yeah, that's the only way I could see that being possible. Is if Kraft's leading the ship in the shadow realm somewhere, you know.
And that's the tea leaves I'm reading.
Okay.
Based on what's being put out there right now.
Hey, you're just feeling vibes.
I understand what you're talking about, is in, like, once the narrative of Bill, like, is out there, like this now persona that Bill has of, like, he's a shit person to work around, like, he's not fun, this is the no fun Patriots, like, you're gonna come here, you're gonna hate your job, maybe you'll win a championship, but Tom's not even here anymore, so you're probably not gonna win a championship. Maybe it is.
How long does that last?
Exactly. Like, when you put it that way, it is a tough sell to bring in any new free agents, really. Like, no star-studded players are gonna, like, accept that. Like, look at what they had. They had to overpay for Hunter Henry and
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny Smith, and they I'm
and Aguilar.
Yeah, and Aguilar, and none of them are performing. And I might have had Smith and Aguilar on some fantasy rosters, like, towards the back end, you know, like, just kind of swinging for it. Yeah, I didn't pan out. Sorry, guys. Apparently I don't know how to turn my phone off. Yeah, I think that would be awesome if Tom Brady gets Bill fired. Like, just beats that ass so bad.
I think that's Tom's
nothing would make me happier in life. Like, that's terrible. I feel a terrible, awful human being, but I don't think anything would make me happy right now.
I doubt it, but I have any chance. Have y'all listened to because they're all over him this week in terms of, like, practice afterwards. Like, oh, how do you feel about this game coming up? Like, the media is not leaving his side. So he's like, mad hoarse right now. Like his voice is gone. And he's like just trying to give like the whole coach speak and everything. But like this dude, just how he conducts himself and how like annoyingly ultra competitive he is, just what I think this game means to him and like how he understands social media and just like public reaction. I think he goes out and flexes on them. I think he goes in and like pedal to the metal, like blow out the Patriots in New England to set the record for most passing yards ever.
Yeah.
So start Tom Brady in all DFS lineups, I guess is what I'm saying.
And take the over. Pats by 7. Sorry, it's Bucks by 7.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we're in, homie.
And I thought it was going to be. I would have even been even higher on this if like I was more confident about Gronk's health. But even without Gronk, I think there's just no
Antonio Brown, homie. This is just as big of an Antonio Brown revenge game.
I think the Gronk thing is actually way less than people think it is because Cam Brate, the second Gronk got off the field, Cam Brate stepped up, caught 3 or 4 passes, no big deal. Like we still have OJ Howard in the waiting. Like they haven't even let him like given him full reins to play football yet. Like
why haven't you traded him?
I don't know, man. I think it's
let that
up.
Man.
I know he's such a beast. Like, but again, I think it's the key. Like, I do think they talked about it. They were like slowly planning on bringing him in. But yeah, to me, it's been a complete waste of a first round pick, and not because it was a bad pick. It was just been a waste.
He's nice.
He should be a top 10 tight end. Like
he should be traded for what Dan Arnold just got traded for. Watch out for Dan Arnold in dynasty leagues. He's going to Jacksonville now, and they don't have anybody else to throw to now that DJ Chark's out of there. But sorry, complete sidestep. Yeah.
I want to talk about this.
Antonio Brown, overs.
Oh yeah, I'm starting him. I'm starting him in both fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
I'm starting everywhere.
I tried to trade for him. The second
and Antonio Brown wasn't
down.
There for the loss. Like he's coming in hot. Like he's saying like this is what I do.
And I bet you he's more spiteful than Tom is about this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Because Bill buried him. Bill buried him after they cut him.
Dude.
Like, and then he went after freaking ooh, boys. Yeah, you know what? Ashton, I hope you're right. Like, you're starting to convince me that this might be a barn burner of a blowout of a one-sided affair. Oh, I can't wait. But again,
Tom wants to send a message. They're coming off a loss. It's a homecoming. He's gonna want to put at least 6 touchdowns out there.
I mean, I don't see him letting off the gas.
Right.
Oh no! Like, there's not going to be any letting off the gas this game for sure.
Right, dude.
And they're getting
out of 21,
Antonio
and
Brown
still
to
be
go.
throwing
They're getting their 3 back together.
Right. I mean, what if we're in garbage time by like the second quarter?
Fuck it, let's go.
You know what I mean?
Like, let's put out the first 100-point game.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go and let's put 6 touchdowns on these dudes.
Yeah, Brady's like, stop. I want the first 100-point game. Is that first?
Yeah, I want the Wilt Chamberlain. I want to Chamberlain these dudes. Let's get it.
Full Chamberlain, and then he just retires week 5.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you've got Tom Brady, you're right. If you've got Tom Brady, or if you have a chance of trading for Tom Brady before Sunday, go make that shit happen. I don't think you will. Nobody's giving up Brady.
Full Chamberlain. I love it. I couldn't be higher on the Bucks right now. I'm sold. Not a stack of me.
I guess because you guys just simply put the Bucks as Tom Brady, and I still know the Bucks as the Bucks. Like the team that showed up week 1 against the Cowboys and had all them turnovers and dropped balls and dropped interceptions and all that other stuff. So like I'm still nervous. Like put yourself in my shoes. You can't help but like it would be very embarrassing if you lost to the Patriots. It would be it'd be hard.
So there's right.
If y'all lost to the Patriots, I'd be
it rewrites the narrative
but
of the
then
Bucs
it would be just
season.
Bill Belichick. That'd probably be the biggest Bill Belichick achievement in the past 5 years.
He's probably playing. He must think he's playing for his job. Like, how can he not? Like,
right.
Well, this is the biggest home
underdog. So now you're understanding why I'm saying this is such a sooner development than I think the public is letting on.
Yeah, has he been a bigger home underdog in the past 15 years? Bill Belichick?
Maybe with Matt Castle.
Been 7? Right.
Yeah, maybe anytime he's not had Tom Brady. Like, I'm sure last year.
But Matt Castle went off for them. What you mean?
But
he earned a $90 million contract.
Last year I bet you they were
even
minus.
7 points is a lot.
But think about it. Like, last year they didn't even have Cam Newton. Like, there was times where Cam Newton wasn't playing either.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they had a -7.
The point remains.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but there's a little speck in you, Jack, that is nervous that maybe Belichick knows every single weakness that Tom Brady's ever had. Maybe it's only 2 weaknesses ever, but he knows them.
Yeah, he knows them. He knows how to exploit them.
And he spent 100 hours,
Bill Belichick is that person. If he knew one secret on you, he would.
Right.
He just lets out the secret in this game, and now the NFL knows.
The NFL knows how to expose Brady. I mean, that's my Jack paranoia speaking. That's my other side of Jack's shoulder. But honestly, I'm still so high on the Bucs. I'm just so ready to not give Bill Belichick any credit. I don't know why. It's I'm just ready to
get rid of
annihilate his legacy. He's obviously a genius, but
imagine how Tom feels.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's crazy. These guys are trying to destroy each other's legacies in one game. It actually is that petty and that vengeful and that serious.
And all of them are those things. They are that petty.
Yeah.
And
Brady is obviously that petty. He does not hold back. I appreciate Brady for being a petty person. I like him more because he's a petty sumbitch.
And it's fun to watch.
We didn't even bring up Richard Sherman. I'm not sure if he's gonna play this week. Oh
yeah.
Props. He called this. He mentioned that they should bring him in, and I said that I think that he wasn't, unless he's very scheme specific, he wouldn't be good at. But
didn't he only play one side of the field?
Yeah, that's what's funny.
Yes.
Did you guys? I don't know if you've seen the meme. There wasn't even a meme. They asked you to meme it yesterday, and it was the Bucs posted an image, and it was Richard Sherman already given kind of a questionable Richard Sherman looking face. What'd you say, motherfucker? And it was Carlton Davis with his super serious face, and it says caption it, so I captioned it, and I go the right side. The fuck you mean the right side? I'm a 10-year vet, 5-year Pro Bowler, 3-time first team All Pro. What do you mean right side? He's like, you fucking heard me. Get on the right side, bitch. I'm the number 1 corner here. That's basically what it looked like in the thing. But
that might be humbling.
Oh yeah. But again, that means Richard Sherman's not.
So do you think he'll be number 1 cornerback by playoff time?
No. Carlton Davis is statistically a top 5 cornerback in the NFL. Regardless if you believe it or not, statistically he is. Statistically, he shuts guys down very, very nicely.
But are you going to be playing him? Are you playing Richard Sherman in different situations?
No, I think you
how are you handling the Richard Sherman situation?
Richard Sherman is getting put on the outside. He's going to get put opposite of Carlton Davis.
On his side.
No, he's going on his opposite side. He's going opposite of Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis is our number 1 corner.
He's doing man-to-man.
Carlton Davis can be on the left side. And, yeah, I mean, we run a predominantly man scheme. And for people that don't people that call Richard Sherman a zone corner don't really understand what cover 3 zone is. That means you are one-on-one with your guy, and you have a hell of a lot of space. So it does not matter if it's a zone scheme, cover 3. He's primarily basically playing man. He's playing man, and he has over-top responsibility.
As long as it's going deep down the sideline.
Yeah, to where, like you said, you have the sideline to take as your advantage. But that's going to be.
But you're good on him covering a slant?
I'm good on having Devin White and Levante David to clean up slants in the middle of the field.
You're fine him doing just a cover 2 kind of shallow zone?
Yeah, I think, I mean, Again, it's Richard.
So you're related,
Sherman,
but you're still relating the
Richard
defense
Sherman
to his own defense.
Better than our number 5 cornerback right now, or better than Cockrell?
Sure.
Yes,
yeah.
he is. So it's an upgrade.
Gain.
So I don't care if he was Richard Sherman. It's an upgrade at the position. That's all it is. So I don't care if he gets burned. He's gonna get burned less than Zach Cockrell or not Zach.
What's your expectation for him? Like kind of spot duty? Or do you think
I think he's going to be... I think while Sean Murphy-Bunting is out, Jamal Dean is hurt, and we don't have any other cornerbacks really to go around other than Cockrell, he is going to be the other outside corner, and we'll probably rotate guys in the slot. He might not even play this week. Like, he might not be game ready. I don't think he should play this week, but I would be stoked if he did. But that's what scares me, too, is if he doesn't play... then literally Bill Belichick and Mac Jones are going to look good against our defense. Like, if we're down...
Tom Brady's going to break the touchdown record this year. I thought of it. I thought he was going to do it at the beginning of the year. I thought he was going to have a race with Patrick Mahomes, but I think he's just going to go up on his own. I think he's going to go with the added game. I think he goes for the touchdown record. And y'all's defense... y'all are going to be exposed pass-wise.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are going to be in barn burners. Like, it's going to require Tom Brady to keep his foot on the pedal.
Well, I mean, we're like a couple, like, it's not like we've had season-ending injuries. We haven't had one yet. So, literally, it's like we have a little shoulder injury with JPP. The dislocated by elbow is the biggest one so far by Sean Murphy-Bunting, who is clearly our number 2 corner. Like, I love Jamal Dean. But what Sean Murphy-Bunting does and, like, being able to go inside, outside slot, like zone, man, like, he's probably our best all-around. As to where Jamal Dean and Carlton Davis are kind of pure man coverage kind of guys. So, we'll see. But, dude, like I said, a freaking 5-time Pro Bowl, 3-time first-team All-Pro. I mean, Super Bowl champ. Like, I am mad at it. And if Tom Brady ain't mad at it,
adding talent to the locker room, always support it. Hence
would
my
you
support
say no
for
to
Josh
Richard?
Gordon.
Yeah. Would you say no to Richard Sherman?
Probably not.
Yeah.
No. I'd probably take
your secondary is not much farther off than mine right now, dude. So, like, our secondary is still technically better from a statistical standpoint. Again, I know you faced some tough cookies in the first 3 weeks, but.
Let's see how this week goes. I think we're gonna go in on him the same way that Tom Brady's trying to have his homecoming show out. I think Andy Reid's about to do the same shit. Coming off a loss, like, let's just show these motherfuckers everything is okay, and we lose at the very most one more game the rest of the year.
Okay, you're still guaranteeing?
Oh, we're going there.
Willie Gay, again, to fix your defense, bring in Willie Gay and bring in Juan Thornhill. And I feel the defense in itself will improve. And for the offense, just don't turn the ball over 3 times in a row. Like, altogether, the Chiefs have punted 6 times this entire season. They punted once against the Chargers. The Chargers didn't stop the Chiefs. The Chiefs made dumb turnovers, and I see positive regression in the sense that I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to regularly turn the ball over more or less uncommon plays, and I think they're fighting. They're coming back from a 1-2 start, so they're fighting with their backs against the wall, and yeah, I think we're good. I'm not worried about it.
14 wins. Lock it in. Kansas City Chiefs.
The odds have to be good, right?
They can't be good. They can't be better than
all right.
they were 2 weeks ago.
Eagles, Bills, football team, Titans, Giants, Packers, Raiders, Cowboys, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Steelers, Bengals, Broncos. I say you lose 2 more. I'm going to say 1 to the Raiders and 1 to the Buffalo Bills. Unless you can get right in 2 weeks, good luck.
You went straight for me on those 2.
Yes,
I would
did.
love
I did.
to go.
How about Josh Allen last week, by the way?
Those are going to be good shows.
Yes, they are.
What'd you say?
I said, how about that Josh Allen last week? Looked pretty good. Looked pretty good against a real good defense too.
Hey, he's a fun football player.
Gotta give a shout out to my my brother Jason for being the dumbest motherfucker I have ever seen in fantasy football. How the fuck do you start Justin Fields over Josh Allen, you stupid son of a bitch? I told you I was going to give you a shout out. I had to do it, so I had to do it like that. But you dumb motherfucker. That's what you get. Oh, my God. How... All you had to do is listen.
He got caught up. He got caught up in the mania.
All you had to do is listen. He didn't listen. But that's what
that's a good shout out. That's a good shout out.
Stupid mother.
Just for the record, touchdown record is 55 by Peyton Manning, right? Peyton Manning, Broncos Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, the year before his arm
37 years old.
The year before his arm fell off. And then it looked
Brady
so
has
ugly.
10 passing touchdowns after week 3. So.
Well, he's about to get 6.
If you can find somebody to take your Brady for most passing touchdowns in a single season record break, you should do that, Ashton. I would
start looking.
Love for you to hit on that. I would.
Right. It'd be a fun hit.
Oh, we're going straight to Vegas if you hit on that. You call this a week 4, and then that would just be poetry.
Yeah. So yeah, it comes out to 56 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean you're right.
It's spot on. 56.
And he's about to have
touchdowns.
his biggest game. Like this is going to be his biggest statistical game of the year.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
You're saying maybe his life.
It should be. I think that's what he's trying to make it.
I just don't see why it wouldn't be.
This is the one thing. You guys need to remember.
I can't get higher.
Other people on that team are the Buccaneers from a year ago, and 2 years ago, and 3 years ago, and 4 years ago. So don't hold it against them to not F something up real easy and put Brady in a bind real quick. That being said, that locker room rides for Brady. And I'm sure they're going to be
New England's best pass rusher right now?
Chase Winovich.
Nice. I mean, I like that you answered that. But
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Well done.
I don't like the answer.
Hey, Chase Winovich is a beast. Okay, we really liked him coming out.
Okay. You better. Yeah. 6 touchdowns. That's my prediction.
Okay, so. If for some ungodly reason, like the Bucs don't win this game, I'm going to come back and slander Brady, and I'm going to expect Belichick to run for the Senate next season. And
minimal,
and then Ashton's going to hit his underbet perfectly of 3 years with the Pats. It's going to be nonsense. But
a lot of good bets. We got to find some pretty interesting bookmakers or just people that will take these type of terms. But
did forget stuff.
I think it's laid out for it all to happen. I think we are being presented with the perfect landscape for all these things to occur and take advantage of it.
No James White, no Stephon Gilmore, no N'Keal Harry.
I smell a blowout. I smell a historic blowout on a historic night. Like, he needs to hear boos in Boston. Like, that needs to occur.
Do you think it'll happen, though? What's the bet on that? How is that going to be?
On the 4th touchdown, there will be boos.
Detroit...
And on the 5th touchdown, there will be more boos. And on the 6th touchdown, there will be cheers because what he has achieved is glorious. And we will respect what he has provided.
Dude, that's the story.
And then he will rest.
My God. They're literally like...
And then he'll be on to wherever y'all fucking play next week.
I feel like there's literally going to be a documentary about what is about to happen. And we're gonna have this on file documented that these words came out of Ashton Moore's mouth and he was goddamn spot on.
I'll write it. Let's get it.
Oh, I hope so. All right, gentlemen. I think we covered every aspect. We did call it. We said that those 3 takes would take up an hour. That's exactly what happened.
I do what I can.
So yeah, I mean, we were gonna talk about make or break games, but I think for Bill, I mean, I think you covered this, Ashton. This is a make or break game for Bill. It's a make or break game for the Bengals. It's a make or break game for Zach Taylor, but not Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's good. Zach Taylor's shit. Bucks are gonna win by 150. You heard it here from that man first.
Yes, sir.
Drew Barbetta, we appreciate you tuning in, man. This was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Ashton.
Do it again.
I hope you're right. Kinda for the most of it.
Let's see. That's kind of why football's so fun, is it not? Let's see what happens.
I don't know. This might be the one podcast where we reference and like look back on and be like, this is where it all went downhill for Ashton Moore.
Yeah. Bill Belichick went on to go for Senate, and he just.
And you're just the guy of the documentary.
And it all launch padded off of his win against Tom Brady, where he threw no touchdowns and was completely shut out. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Thank you for tuning in to the Blitz Breakdown, presented by Blitzlytics.com, where scouting meets analytics and you meet the newest crop of off-field talent. I'm Jack Bourgeois. That is Ashton Moore, and our hopefully returning guest, Drew. We appreciate you. Blitz out. Go Bucks, baby.
Bye-bye.